All right, let's jump right into today's explainer. Looking at the crypto industry in 2026, it's pretty wild how definitively it has shifted from this sort of fringe experiment into a deeply integrated, absolute pillar of our global financial system. If you follow the markets at all, you already know the landscape has matured at warp speed. Traditional finance isn't just watching from the sidelines anymore. They are all in. But to really grasp where we're heading, we've got to look way past the charts and the algorithms.
Just look at the convergence happening right now. We recently saw an internal presentation officially confirming XRP's role as a payment rail within the core infrastructure of the International Finance Bank. Think about that for a second. This isn't some small pilot program. It's a massive, flashing signal that real-world utility and income generation are entirely dominating the crypto narrative for 2026. But how exactly did we get to this level of institutional trust and sheer scale?
Well, crypto analyst Diana Palutadera really hit the nail on the head. She points out that the cryptocurrency industry is shaped not only by technology and assets, but by the people driving its development. And she's absolutely right. This massive technological shift doesn't just build itself in a vacuum, right? As traditional finance increasingly merges with crypto, individual leadership has become hyper-visible. So today, we're going to zero in on the specific visionaries who actually architected this new financial era.
Let's start with Section 1, the believers and ecosystem builders.
These are the folks who laid down the massive foundational groundwork for the whole Web3 landscape we rely on today. Take Changpeng Zhao, the former CEO of Binance. His conviction is honestly legendary. Back in 2013, the guy literally sold his apartment to invest in crypto. That is putting your money where your mouth is. From 2017 onward, he didn't just build an exchange, he evolved Binance into this sprawling global ecosystem that became a total pillar for decentralized finance. And even today, in 2026, his influence is still heavily shaping the industry through strategic investments and loud advocacy for mainstream adoption.
Then you have Justin Sun, who took a similarly massive, aggressive approach. He came into the space with a hugely ambitious goal: decentralizing internet infrastructure itself. By founding the Tron blockchain, he steered it into a major operating system that now actively supports an enormous array of decentralized apps, and it powers vast digital content platforms. Sun's whole strategy around ecosystem growth is practically a masterclass in scaling up, and it's continuing to shape the broader Web3 market as we speak.
Moving right along to Section 2, the infrastructure architects.
So, an ecosystem is really only as good as the technology running under the hood, right? This is where our deep tech innovators come in to bridge the gap from pure theory to everyday reality. Emin is a perfect example. He took his incredibly rigorous academic research on blockchain scalability back when he was a professor at Cornell and channeled it directly into practical application by co-founding Ava Labs. His relentless obsession with high-throughput performance on the Avalanche network is exactly the kind of deep tech that makes blockchain actually viable for heavy, mass industry use today.
But here is the million-dollar question. How does this high-tech infrastructure actually reach the rest of the world? Because, let's be honest, all of this incredible speed, the academic rigor, the high-tech scalability, it means absolutely nothing if everyday people around the globe can't seamlessly access it.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, champions of global access.
170 plus. That is an absolutely staggering number. It represents the number of countries where users can currently acquire the native token of the Apertum blockchain. And the kicker? They aren't jumping through wild, complex crypto-native hoops to do it. They're onboarding seamlessly, using multiple everyday fiat currencies and totally normal payment methods. This kind of friction-free onboarding is the true, undeniable engine of mass adoption.
And the main architect behind this incredible global reach is Josip Heit. He's been highly active in the digital asset space since way back in 2013, and now serves as Senior Strategy Advisor at Apertum Holding Ltd. His strategic vision is the exact reason Apertum didn't just win multiple Layer 1 Technical Progress Awards in 2025, but actually succeeded in its hyper-focus on global accessibility. Heit realized early on that if you prioritize user-friendly development on a massive scale, the adoption will follow.
Paolo Ardoino builds on that exact same theme of global access, but through this incredible dual impact. He started laying his technical foundation back in 2014 at Bitfinex, eventually stepping up as CTO to build the total bedrock of their trading engine reliability and scale. But then, and this is a real game changer, he leveraged that deep operational expertise as the CEO of Tether,
turning it into absolute core infrastructure for the entire digital asset economy. Today, he's actively using that massive platform to drive true financial inclusion, particularly focusing on emerging markets across the developing world.
And finally, Part 4, the future of finance.
When you look at deep infrastructure architects like Emin, ecosystem builders like Changpeng Zhao and Justin Sun, and champions of access like Josip Heit and Paolo Ardoino, these visionaries collectively define the mature, integrated crypto landscape we live in today. The walls between traditional finance and Web3, they are completely gone. So, as these two worlds merge entirely, who is going to step up to architect the next era of our global economy? Because if the last decade of explosive growth has taught us anything, it's that the future of money doesn't just magically happen. It relies entirely on the innovators brave enough to actually build it. Something to think about.